Diplomatic Corps, the nominee of the World Bank, UNICEF representative, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen. It is with considerable pleasure that I join you this afternoon, in launching the National Sanitation Campaign. I say with considerable pleasure because our gathering here will inure to the benefit of the Ghanaian people, who are the ultimate beneficiaries of all governmental action. On 11th January 2017, 4 days after assuming the highest office of the land, I announced the creation of a Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources. Some 3 months later, Jamestown, Accra, I announced my commitment to making Accra the cleanest city on the entire African continent. I share in the belief of former Prime Minister Akufo-Addo, who on 18th May 1969 stated that, and I quote, "The health of the people of this country is as much a part of our resources as, say, our cocoa or mineral wealth," unquote. As co-chair of the group of advocates of eminent persons of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, I'm also aware that ensuring access to water and sanitation for all is the objective of SDG number 6. A clean and healthy population is at the heart of our efforts to transform rapidly our nation. In line with the New Patriotic Party's 2016 manifesto, the platform on which we were elected, we pledged, amongst others, to develop a comprehensive national sanitation program to address the sanitation challenges of our country, and by so doing, improve our total well-being and enhance national productivity. This comprehensive program will include the establishment of a National Sanitation Authority and the establishment of a dedicated sanitation fund to help make our nation clean. The policy for the establishment of a National Sanitation Authority and the Sanitation Fund will be announced shortly. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in the address of the Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, the Honorable Akufo-Addo, MP for Navrongo, he highlighted the constraints impeding our efforts at dealing with our sanitation problems. These include, amongst others, the lack of adequate land for the processing of waste and also for the disposal of the final residue after it has been created. Additionally, the lack of adequate modern equipment and specialized trucks for the rapid haulage of waste has been noted. To this end, I'm happy to announce the government has taken measures to acquire for the Accra metropolitan area 3 new sites to serve as integrated material recovery sites to address the issue of disposal of waste. Shortly after this function, I'll be visiting one of those sites at Utimibi. Let me use this opportunity to express my and the nation's gratitude to the traditional authorities and people of the area for this gesture. The other 2 sites are at Nsumia number 3 in the Adwejiri municipality and another in the Bawe Malam area. The Nsumia number 3 site is already for use. The 64-acre site at Utimibi is being engineered into a modern integrated material recovery site comparable to any in the world. Similar undertakings are being explored in the other regions to ensure that there are adequate, modern, engineered, and environmentally acceptable sites for the processing of waste nationwide. I wish to stress that it is the policy of government to acquire and own these sites in partnership with the private sector. Management service contracts of these sites will be awarded through a competitive tendering process. This policy will ensure fair play and avoid monopoly. Government is also providing assistance to environmental service providers who are doing their best to clean up our cities and towns. These measures include assisting them with access to credit facilities and defining a tax regime that will enable them to procure new and effective tools for their work. To break away from the specter of frequently broken down trucks and service providers having to purchase old or home-use trucks, the Minister for Finance will be taking a critical look at this matter and helping create a conducive environment to resource the operators adequately. Modern, new state-of-the-art trucks and equipment are of the utmost necessity to deliver on this objective, and I intend to make it happen. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we must all recognize that indiscipline has been a major cause of the unsanitary situation in most parts of the country. It is not in our nature as Ghanaians to be dirty. We keep our immediate surroundings and our homes very clean. However, for one reason or the other, when we step out of these immediate surroundings, we seem to ignore all of these positive attitudes. Successive Ghanaian governments have tried to reverse this trend and inculcate a habit of greater discipline in the care of our surroundings. It has not succeeded. My government intends to make a fresh start. As waste is generated every day, we have an obligation to keep our environment clean every day. We have to do so daily and not on a monthly basis. Every day is Sanitation Day. I recognize, however, that the government cannot do it alone. This is why I wish to call on all of us, especially our chiefs and queen mothers, religious and opinion leaders, civil society organizations, private sector operators, to rise up to the challenge and help make a difference this time round. As we lead by example, every government department and agency, including the seat of government, is assigning 2 officers to be designated Sanitation Marshal and Deputy Marshal to oversee compliance of their outfits and their staff to the laid down laws with regard to sanitation in their respective offices. Ministers, chief executives, and chief directors of government departments and agencies will be held accountable for any lapses in the failure to comply with this directive. The heads of departments have 1 week within which to identify and assign these officers. The Environmental Health and Sanitation Directorate must take steps to train these appointed officers on their new roles within 1 month of their appointment. A corps of young men and women, the National Sanitation Brigade, will see to the enforcement of these rules and regulations, whether in state establishments, in private establishments, or households. The personnel of this outfit will conduct regular visits to all offices to ensure that there is compliance, and where it so requires, take legal action against those infringing on the laws. On my call to Accra to be the cleanest city in Africa, I say that the cleanup and enforcement measures will follow the following measures, with dedicated effort and adequate logistics to get the job done. We will commence with the government business district, which covers the Presidency, Parliament House, the ministries, and the courts. We'll focus on the ceremonial and arterial roads going in and out of the city to ensure that they are regularly cleaned up. We shall take special care of the airport, major hotels and shopping mall centers, residential areas and zongos, central business district, including the inner city periphery, markets and lorry parks, university campuses, schools and hospitals, and beaches and places of public places of entertainment and tourist centers are all going to elicit special attention. On the value chain of sanitation in the city of Accra, the following will be carried out: rezoning the concessions, equipping of tricycle operators, and construction of mini transfer stations to facilitate the rapid collection and transportation of waste from the cities. Deployment of automated sweepers in main streets. Deployment of sanitation brigade personnel along the streets and in major concentrations. Sanitation ambassadors have been identified and will be inaugurated shortly to lead the campaign together with the sanitation ministry, its agencies, and the MMDCEs. Metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives will work with the sanitation ministry to ensure that we deliver on the One House, One Toilet program. The ministry is to liaise, to set aside a dedicated day to try sanitation cases where people infringe the law. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I will not be left out of this exercise. I'll be directly involved as I intend to monitor activities of the national campaign to ensure that its goals are attained. I'll review on a quarterly basis with the Minister for Monitoring and Evaluation the performance of each metropolitan, municipal, and district assembly and publish the results of the review. This campaign is not going to be a 9-day wonder. It will run over the entire period of my mandate to ensure that Ghana is clean. I remain committed to this, and I'm determined to ensure that the job is done. In conclusion, I hereby declare the National Sanitation Campaign duly launched. Let's clean Ghana. It's your personal responsibility. Play your part to make sure that Ghana is clean. Every day is Sanitation Day. Let us start from today to clean up Ghana. Thank you, and may God bless us all in our homeland Ghana. Make her great and strong.